Hey, it's a dreary day in Pittsburgh, PA, but it's Thursday. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of AdFreeShows.com, SEScoops.com, and BrassRingMedia.com. Check it out. Also, tonight, check out RVDTV.com. Spike Dudley will be joining me in RVD for a live episode. But we're live now with Mr. Robert Karplus, WD Creative _ish. Robert, happy Thursday to you, my man.
The hell, you couldn't get Spike to show up for our show?
No. I don't have to Spike. That's Rob. That's all Rob.
He's one of our favorite Dudleys.
He's a great Dudley. Man,
he's no dances with Dudley, but he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Who?
E. What does E have to say?
What does he have to say? What's up? That's what
that really wasn't worth it. Alt Jake takes on, says, I'm back from vacation. Here's to a really big show. Just watched Sunday's Best on Netflix.
I'm not familiar with that.
It was a documentary about the Ed Sullivan Show and the incorporation of black artists over the years. So I thought he was doing Big Show, and then I realized at the end of it, he was doing the Really Big Shoe. Really Big Shoe. Wrestling Old Head says, what's going on, R&I? Is this Trifecta Thursday?
I think he's referring to Justin Barrasso, perhaps?
Justin Barrasso.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin was pulled away doing some shoot reporting work. He's going to be providing us a video that we're going to be playing probably tomorrow with his insights on the week. So stay tuned for that. Michael Partham says there's a missing person on my milk carton named Wardlow. Have you seen him?
What a great point.
Dude, Wardlow, it feels like this is a hostage situation. Like they needed to show proof of life last week for him to just walk out there. And now he's missing. It could have been worse. They could have had him be the guy to go answer the Briscoe challenge.
That's crazy. Yeah, right? Okay. This follow-up with Dynamite in Philadelphia.
Jeff Henninger says, missed R&I live yesterday, was worried I was going to get spoilers of if Dom played the Pointer Sisters and how many times Robert said, damn it, Dom.
You didn't say damn it, Dom once.
There was one, but it was after the show was over.
Yeah, that's always it.
Altic says Wardlow needs to blink twice to let us know his family is in danger. Yes, he needs to hold up a recent copy of The Observer with that date. Do they still print The Observer? I don't know. Honestly, this is crazy. I have been working in the wrestling industry in one form or another for 20 years. I have never physically seen a copy of the Wrestling Observer in my life.
That's true for me too. I used to get the PW Torch mailed to me, and that was cool, but never the Observer.
No, I have old copies of WWF Magazine. Does that count?
No.
Bret Hart with the Intercontinental title. It's great.
Was Vic Venom in there?
No, Vic Venom was after I was done getting WWF magazines. But as a kid, that was the only way. Like you got your within kayfabe world, 8, 9 years old. Pictures of what happened at the events because you couldn't afford them. But fear not, Tony Marie Khan, whom we love, who we have nothing but respect and admiration for. That way they don't kick Dom off the media calls. Heard our pleas. We kept saying, you have this deal with HBO Max. You have access to one of the largest media conglomerates in the world. Please give us the pay-per-views. And as a lawyer, I failed to be specific. Because good news now, if you have HBO Max like I do on my television and Dom theoretically does on his Black and White RCA, you can watch All Out for the low price of paying an extra $30.
I think it's $40, Robert.
$40. Mm-hmm. The hell is this guy thinking?
I'm not sure.
This is one of the. This was not on a run sheet, I don't believe. And
it's kind of. Yeah, it is.
Was it? I'll be honest. I was literally on an insane work meeting until right now. I've been meeting since about 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm happy to be talking pro wrestling and not shoot job. But the whole point was you're getting people to pay for HBO Max, whatever that subscription tier price is. You make this available to those people who are paying for HBO Max, they're going to feel like they're getting a value. That's why the ESPN deal with WWE made sense. That's why the Peacock deal made sense. You paid $10 a month for Peacock. You got the WWE PLEs plus the full archive plus whatever else is on Peacock. I know there's Poker Face. I feel like there's butchered, clipped episodes of Saturday Night Live that they've just ruined beyond repair. When you click on the episode, it goes, oh, it's 27 minutes long. No, it's not. No, it's not. So the point was supposed to be you get the PL, you get your pay-per-views included. Mm-hmm. Biggest audience possible can then watch your shows. Instead, you're basically saying, good news, everyone. You get to pay full boat for the pay-per-view on HBO Max.
It's $10 off, Robert.
You're still paying for the HBO Max subscription.
Correct. So yes, you are paying full price.
Like I was going to say he missed the mark, but he is the mark. Because in his mind, he still thinks people are excited to pay for pay-per-views. And I'm not saying that his pay-per-views do not deliver a good show. Mm-hmm. I'm being clear about that. I'm not saying that, if you have that kind of disposable income and you can go spend $30 a month for a one-off pay-per-view, like, good for you. But for the majority of wrestling fans, that's a pretty heavy ask. The ESPN ask of $30 a month, to me, is a little bit more palatable because you're getting the WWE PLE events plus all of the other ESPN content. This past Saturday, my beloved Florida Gators, greatest college football team on the planet, their game against the Long Island University Fighting, hey, what are you talking about? Was only available on the SEC Plus network as part of the ESPN subscription package. So that in and of itself, I would have paid for that. It bugs me from a fan perspective because Tony does position himself as the fan-friendly option. He's the guy who does it for the sickos. And you got to be a real sicko to be opening up your wallet and paying $40 or $50 for pay-per-views on a fairly regular basis to watch AEW programming.
Right. It's Robert. I mean, with as many pay-per-views that they have, it's almost like a added monthly subscription. And we talked about a little bit about the Savannah Bananas yesterday and how Tony should pivot to more of a family-friendly kind of aspect of wrestling that encompasses a lot more of a wider audience. Well, when you put out a pay-per-view like that, you are disassociating further away from your audience. You're not being family-friendly with that. You are not giving them a good price point. You're giving them an added hurdle to climb, I think, with the price point. Where you're making it accessible on HBO Max, great, but you still got to pay.
Hold on. There's a dumbass in our comments section. Scott Chaplin.
Oh,
just wrote boo. For those of you who've listened to Working Civ, that's what Scott Chaplin looks like. He does look like a homeless 12-year-old. And he and I will be recording this afternoon, Dom, at 3:30 Eastern. And we're going to be talking about this. And I'm going to hear him talk about how we're all idiots for not buying the pay-per-view. And I will point out that he utilizes North Korean satellites to be able to access some of these AEW shows. Tony missed the opportunity. This could have been, if the announcement was, if you were an HBO Max subscriber and for an extra $10, you get the pay-per-view, you're going to get a significantly larger amount of people who are going to say, you know what, I'm going to click on this and I'm going to watch.
Right.
That's where it made sense. But the issue is not a lack of access. If you have a smart TV, you've got a smart TV over there on the wall, I can access an AEW pay-per-view through my my Amazon Prime. I can access it through, I know they had it through one of the other various apps that were on there. It's been available on pay-per-view before. It's not like it's so hard to find. 100 years ago, if you wanted to get a pay-per-view, kids, sit down, listen to Grandpa tell you these stories. You used to have to go drive to your local cable office and get a special second box that you then had to plug in order to be able to watch the pay-per-view and then drive that box back to your local cable operator. That is an arduous pain in the ass process. If the idea was I'm already in the app and it's an extra button to push, that's a hell of a lot easier to say I'm going to do this for $10 versus I'm going to do this for an extra $40.
And even that, though, Robert, if you're trying to get like an older audience or somebody that's not familiar with smart TVs, how they operate apps, anything to that effect, you're trying to get that older demographic, maybe that's an extra hurdle either way if you're paying $10 to it.
I would be a lot more inclined if whenever the pay-per-view was taking place and I'm home and I'm going, you know what? It's a Saturday, it's a Sunday. I don't have anything else scheduled. I'm gonna do this. This show has also gotten 10 times dumber all out because it was up against WrestlePalooza.
Yes.
And AEW blinked first. They moved the start time for All Out. They moved it to the afternoon, which means they are now directly opposed to college football.
That's true. Yeah, that's not good.
To quote Adam Sandler as Jerry Seinfeld on the Saturday Night Live sketch that hopefully has not been clipped from Peacock, who are the ad wizards that came up with this one? I'll tell you who. To the people who brought you last night's episode of Dynamite. I got news for you. When these guys are making these decisions and they're walking in the room, you know what body part they're not leading with? They're not leading with their brain.
No.
But to tell somebody, I'm going to charge you $40 a month because you're already paying for HBO Max, you better have a set of big brass ones. You also better be walking in dick first, which speaks to our friends at Blue Chew. Guys, Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code RUMOR at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes, thank you, Blue Chew. And Robert, wow, they blew the ceiling off of the 2300 arena last night.
Steve Chambers just made my point.
Oh, what did he say?
He goes, sucky college football schedule all out week. Believe me, TK is good. Just one good game. Florida versus Miami. I mean, that. What are you doing, Steve Chambers? That is a huge game. I'm well aware of that game because I had every intention. You can take the thing off the screen. Okay. I had every intention of going to that game because that game is here in Miami. And I was going to go and wear my Florida gear and support it. Only to find out that it is my daughter's homecoming dance that day. And I will have to be in dad mode doing pictures and chaperones and all that other nonsense while watching the game on my phone.
Hey, that's dad life, right? It's dad life.
Apparently. What is on your shirt? I just see
Johnny
pink.
Cash.
What? Oh, it's Johnny Cash. It's hard to see the thing. I see now. It's Johnny Cash.
I just cut the sleeves off it today.
You self-yoked the shirt?
I self-yoked the shirt, yes.
Look at you. What a professional. You know who wasn't a professional?
Who?
That damn Gabe Kidd.
Hey, who's Gabe Kidd? I've never heard him talk before tonight, I don't think, on Dynamite.
I believe it's just Carl Anderson.
I
believe it's Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
I thought it was Kyle O'Reilly with the shaved head.
Well, now I can't unsee that. Gabe comes out, gets interrupted by Darby. I liked it. Look, we went ECW. We're interrupting stuff. There's chaos. I do love that. That was super fun. Great brawl with the two of them. Darby has his skateboard with all the thumbtacks. Yuta comes out. Yuta takes some skateboard. The Death Riders show up. Hook showed up to, let's say, a pop, but not really. That was kind of Hook.
Yeah,
that was the music change.
It was the music change. Yeah, I kind of like the new theme, but it doesn't hit right off the bat. You know what I mean? I would kind of tweaked the intro, I think, to it a little bit.
Then the ops came out to go bail out Scrappy Doo, and then Darby put Gabe Kidd in a body bag that just happened to already be tethered to a car, and then drove off.
Darby had plans, Robert.
Clearly, Darby had fancy plans and pants to match. That's a news radio reference for three of you out there. And yes, Wrestling Old Head says Gabe Kidd getting dragged in a body bag while commentary team laughs at Darby Allin. Darby Allin's hijinks had me cracking up. It is kind of weird that they played it for laughs in what felt like a pretty serious beat. It's serious in a good way. Like, boy, that is a really vicious, evil, effed up thing to do to somebody. The announcer should have been like Darby Allin is not a dude to mess with. Instead, it was like, oh, that wacky Kevin McAllister. He did you see what he did? He hit him with a paint can, and they slipped on Micro Machines, and then he committed attempted vehicular homicide.
And hey, that's even worse when you're in South Philly near that 2300 arena. There's a lot of potholes there and a lot of ne'er-do-wells, if you will.
There are definitely some mendicants hanging around that area.
Yes.
But enough about the mendicants. We're going to talk about the womendicants.
Yes.
I tried.
We had Mercedes Moné take on Alex Winsdaw.
I like that she likes her own name.
Yes. Robert.
Dom, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Any of you who've listened to Working Stiff with myself and Scotty Marie Chaplin, my go-to has always been the dumbest thing that they can do is, and now Riho. You have Alex Windsor, who has gotten a tremendous amount of momentum of late. Mm-hmm. She looks great in the ring. Like she's a talented wrestler. She looks like a champion. She looks like someone, when you see her on a billboard or a poster, you're going to be like, oh, I want to see what that person does. And they beat her clean, and then they sent out 11-year-old Riho.
Yeah, it's a complete. It's like the opponent of the week for Mercedes Moné for your heel, and
it's brutal. It stinks.
Brutal. I don't like it, Robert, and it didn't do Windsor any favors. It didn't do Moné any favors. Doesn't? I mean, Rio got a pop, but I mean, I don't think in the grand scheme of it all, like, okay, we're getting her and Mercedes at All Out, so hey, that's her opponent.
When, by the way, you could have done literally the opposite and thrown Riho out there for Mercedes to beat and then attack, and then Alex Windsor makes the save, and then you do the Alex Windsor match in All Out, since she's been the one that's been getting all this credibility of late. And the fact that Riho looks suspiciously like Spike Dudley, like, you could have absolutely done the throw Riho into the never mind. I just said it out loud and then realized all the sexual assault charges that would have been levied after that. But it would have been funny to see Riho get launched into the crowd like Spike. Who?
Megan Bayne. You remember her?
Never heard of her.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you had a woman like Megan Bayne, you'd probably be using her on TV quite a bit.
Absolutely, Robert. No doubt. Hey, who else did they use on TV today? That last night, Mark Briscoe and Lance Archer. Mark wanted to challenge somebody, and Don Callis initially teased Takeshita for Collision, but Briscoe was like, no, give me an opponent. We get the big man Lance Archer, who frustratingly loses yet again. It just is an ongoing thing. It is lazy booking, what we talked about, Robert.
Can we talk about Takeshita's pants?
Yeah, let's do it.
I love his new genie gimmick. I am super excited to see him come out at All Out on a camel.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does not steal the flying carpet finish, I don't know who will. Literally, like, not since Sabu has a man wore pants like that in the 2300 arena and not gotten beaten up.
It's not a good presentation for him, I don't think, Robert. It's boring.
Well, this is what's super weird. The narrative was, it feels like if I was sitting in a production meeting that Tony probably didn't have, it would have been like, so the idea is we bring out all the Jay Brones of the Don Callis family. Hey, here's Trent. Here's Rocky Romero. Here's Archer. And you're looking at all these folks that we're going to feed to Mark Briscoe. And then he makes Takeshita go and do it to tease tension. Instead, Takeshita seemed super into it. Okay. And then I thought, all right, maybe they've dropped the tension with him and Okada. But no. They showed a video package of Okada calling Takeshita a bitch, which feels like the kind of thing where, again, if I was there, the note would have been, Don should have been with Okada to stop him from that, to try to maintain peace.
Mm-hmm. Right. The other thing I found frustrating, too, is like, well, I guess what I liked about it, I will say this. I liked that it's a tease, maybe, that we're going to get an alliance eventually with Briscoe and Takeshita, and that helps get Takeshita over.
Well, yeah, that's the payoff.
Right.
But we're not, you can't make it so super obvious. And I will say this just briefly, because we're not going to get a chance to get to the other company's thing. Yeah. They are waiting way too long for the AJ Lee thing, where when it actually does happen, it's not going to have the impact they want. Mm-hmm. If they really wanted to, it should have been Clash in Paris, Becky, nutshot, boom. Punk is waiting. They cut to on screen Becky and Rollins enjoying Paris. They're in a hotel overlooking the Eiffel Tower, drinking champagne. And we're not showing up. We're not going to be there on next week. And then that next week, when you're stateside, boom, that's where you have AJ show up. Instead, you've got every report under the sun of like, AJ Lee is training and she's going to be returning. It kills a surprise dead. Speaking of killing somebody dead, my poor boy Wheeler Yuta just getting walloped on that show.
You want to talk about the just fodder? Wheeler Yuta is fodder,
dude. Yuta, by the way, Yuta, whom I love, killed it in that Harley Cameron Chris Statlander thing. His just like, I don't know. I don't have time for this. I got to go wrestle. Like, you guys figure it out. This is why Yuta's my fit. I did not know what I was going to be getting with that kid when I first worked with him. And they're like, oh, this is Jimmy Yuta. He weighs like 11 pounds and he wears this weird neon green, like Mortal Kombat looking mask. And he was super funny. And I'm like, oh, I can definitely do stuff with you. And that sounded weird. But he was a blast. And I love getting to see those little moments. He's really smart. He's really good. Someone else is really smart and really good. MVP. That Hurt Syndicate promo with him while Lashley and Shelton just look menacing. Fantastic.
Yeah. Are you for that trios kind of match coming up with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony with them?
I would, if only AEW had like a 6-man tag title.
Yeah. Well, that'd be nice, right?
That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should really consider that. I mean, they don't have enough titles. Let's just be honest. Hey, let's also be honest about the upcoming match too that they had, and that was, well, do you want to talk about FTR and Christian Cage, Adam Copeland segment? Any thoughts on that?
We gave it more thought than they did.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, we'll send Copeland out there, and then FTR can attack him, and then Christian can make the save, and then we just have a bunch of pull aparts. Yeah.
It took up a lot of time. Hey, what else took up a lot of time was that main event. It was Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, and Jet Speed taking on the Young Bucks and the Don Callis family. Winners were Fletcher and the Don Callis family with the Young Bucks. But the notable part is they took out Kenny Omega to close out the show. Made me consider a couple things, Robert, but I want to get your thoughts.
What did it make you consider, Dom?
It made me think about, wow, I think right now would be the time to strike to put the world title on Kyle Fletcher too, and have him hold both titles.
This is why we don't let Dom give thoughts on the show.
I think so. I think it's high. Look, you're trying to build this Kyle Fletcher guy into a big star. He's got the TNT title, which is forgettable at this moment. If he defeats Hangman Page, has both titles, he elevates both titles. You elevate Kyle Fletcher to the next level, and then you can transition from the Hangman Page, which I don't think is really working as a world champion, to somebody else.
Yeah. If only there was a guy who was a hateable heel, who could take the title off of Hangman Adam Page. If only there was someone who had a contract and was just like ready to go on a 1 week notice to take the AEW world title off of Hangman Adam Page. But where would you find such a Jew? I could do the Paul Heyman thing right now and just call him.
Anyway. I don't know who you're talking about, Robert. Who is it?
Takeshita.
Oh, wow. He's Jewish?
No. Yes. You heard it here first. Why not? You know what? Maybe that explains the pants.
Maybe that's it.
Rabbi Takeshita is the gimmick you didn't know you needed.
Oh man, what a show that would be.
What a show.
What a show.
And they're still in Philly next week, aren't they?
I believe so.
Good Lord, they need to get out of Pennsylvania.
It's a great state.
You know who doesn't need to get out of Pennsylvania? It's Dominic D'Angelo, because that is where he sits as the greatest producer in all of wrestling podcasting. I'll be recording an episode of Working Stiff with Scott Chaplin at 3:30 this afternoon. I don't know why I'm saying the time. We don't record it live. You can't hear it live. It's literally just the two of us and me half the time yelling, Scott, are you walking outside while this is going on? I can't hear you. And then I get every third word. But it's going to be a good episode. We're going to be talking about Dynamite. We're talking about AJ. We're going to be talking about what we would do if we had Jericho in WWE. It's going to be a blast. That'll be up wherever you get the audio version of podcast. The same place you can get the audio version of Rumor and Innuendo, in case you don't want to look at Dom's pink t-shirt.
Nope.
I'll wear pink tomorrow, make you feel better now.
Hey.
You can catch the audio version on Spotify. iTunes is not a thing. Apple Music, whatever. Wherever you get your podcast. You know where you get your podcast. You know where you don't get them from? HBO Max. That's where you go and buy $40 AEW pay-per-views. But you can catch Rumor and Innuendo for free every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative _ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo and ad-free shows. So on behalf of the man who yokes himself daily, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Johnny Cash wore no sleeves too.